15 quickest minutes. Yeah. What's poppin'? 15 quickest minutes. Yeah, you know I'm gonna give it to y'all, man. Let this room fill up. Let me shut it real fast. What's up, everybody? Before we start this video, just remember, please share and like, and subscribe and hit the notification bell for the YouTube button. Starting now, like the Monday, Tuesday shows, whichever day I decide to go with, we're gonna rock out of YouTube, Twitter, etc. And then Friday, you already know, open sessions, Facebook Live, and that's where it really gets a little crazy. We get everybody calling in, whatever, man, whatever it is, man. We handle our business, man. And with that, shout out to the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Las Vegas, New York City, LES to the Death, Triple H Entertainment, Syndicate Radio, TV, D Beeman, One Voice, my beloveds, the Dog Catcher, the Secret Weapon, the Specialist, and Credit Fix. Never late to get your credit fixed. Never too late to get your credit fixed. Hit me up, IG me, inbox me, email me at al.newyork@yahoo.com. Get your credit fix. Okay, let's go to NFL news. I'm just going to tap on a couple of subjects, breeze through them. Then I'm going to get into a couple of other subjects, the more important ones. In the NFL, former QB Ryan Leaf arrested on domestic battery charge. This guy, ever since getting drafted number 2 overall, his career just went downhill. NFL, he tried to write a book. He just can't get it right. His new name should be Can't Get Right, like in the movie Life, because he just can't get it right. Leaf was arrested around 2 p.m. Friday in Palm Desert, California, and fined and booked into a Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, according to online jail records. So Ryan Leaf obviously has an issue. He can't get right. And I just hope that he's not one of these cats that eventually just, calls it quits and just jumps off a roof or something. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm serious. The guy got major issues, man. And other news, former NBA Hall of Famer, Georgetown Hoyas men's basketball coach Patrick Ewing recovering home after a weekend stay in the hospital with the coronavirus. On Monday, Patrick Ewing Jr. tweeted that his father's coronavirus symptoms are being watched. And, they got him at home. They're watching him carefully. And if he happens to get worse, I guess they'll just readmit him to the hospital. But salute and God bless to Patrick Ewing. We hope you get, well sooner than later. Boxing news. Vasily Lomachenko, a.k.a. High Tech, a.k.a. Loma, 14-1. In September, they're trying to set up a fight with him and Teofimo Lopez, who's 15-0, 12 Ks, a.k.a. El Brooklyn. Bob Arum is trying to set something up in September. This big matchup. You got 14-1 Loma versus 15-0 Teofimo Lopez, a.k.a. El Brooklyn. This would be a nice way to start this off. Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez won the next fight each other in high stakes lightweight unification bout. Top ranks, and Bob Arum make this happen. This is what you do. This would be a real intriguing fight for us, especially coming up in September. In other news, cornerback for the Los Angeles Rams, Jalen Ramsey, his representatives contacted the Rams, and they want that extension for Ramsey. Ramsey's sitting pretty because the Rams gave up a lot for him via the trade deadline last year, and Ramsey's going to try to get the record-breaking cornerback money, and I don't know if he should command that or not. Every man got a different way of going about it. Rams definitely need help. They lost the marquee running back. They lost the linebacker, and they're not what they were when they made it to the Super Bowl. And if you Jalen Ramsey, I understand you want to get yours, but you don't want to handicap your team either from getting better. Get what get what's worth your value, but stop trying to break bank on some Dak Prescott shit, because guys like your guys are just really messing up the game. Real talk. And I understand that at the end of the day, nobody cares about y'all. I know how that works. But if you guys want to win costs is sacrificing. Now, if you just want money and you just want to worry about money and not worrying about ever getting a chip, then I guess I understand where you coming from. And Ramsey played 60 total games, 10 interceptions for 112 yards, 1 touchdown, and is a lockdown cornerback. I mean, Ramsey is nice on locking individuals down. In other news, Portland Trailblazer Damian Lillard says that he won't compete in a restarted season if Portland does not have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. Now, I'm digging them, but I'm not digging them. You know, I understand, injuries, coronavirus, you don't want to chance it for those specific reasons. But it sounds here like he's just worrying about if he can make the playoffs or not. And my thing is, if you ain't going to play, then you shouldn't get paid. So as long as you with the fact that you're not going to get paid for whatever games y'all going to play left, then I guess it's an even thing. Even though your teammates might not feel like that, your teammates going to feel you quitted on them. But I can respect that from a viewer. But if you try to get paid and not play, Damon, I'm not feeling that. So, you personally, I would show up, earn your money, go out there, catch wreck, make the playoffs or not. Next year's another year. But, I'm not you and you not me, and thank God for that, because I don't go out like that. You know what I mean? If I'm signed and I'm getting that money, then I'm playing for my team regardless of the situation, unless the corona thing where they had the crowd out there and you really had a high percentage of getting it, then that might be a little different. Matter of fact, that will be different. But the fact that you just say because of you might not, if you don't make the playoff or you don't have a legitimate shot of making the playoffs, I ain't feeling that, bro. I'm definitely not. Okay, let's go to other news. Former Major League outfielder Kyle Crawford had a big party in his house, a couple months ago or a month ago during the coronavirus pandemic, etc. And in back of his house, he has a pool. And unfortunately, a 5-year-old kid was drowning. A lady went after him to try to save him, and they both end up drowning and dying in his backyard pool, which I got multiple ways of going about this. I understand it's not directly Kyle Crawford's, fault, but you're throwing a pool party during the pandemic. All I'm telling you, bro, if you don't think these families is coming after you and that contract, that money you stole with the Dodgers and the Red Sox, then you got another thing coming for you. I understand you heavy-hearted. It's not your fault as far as, the physical aspect of the situation. But the fact that you throwing a pool party during the pandemic, that we're not supposed to have peoples amongst each other. It's supposed to be social distancing. And obviously a pool party is neither or. So I'm sorry that you're feeling brokenhearted, but you got family members who lost people, and they will be coming after you, Kyle Crawford. To me personally, you should have never threw this party, bro. And other news. All right, let's end it up with this. Real quick, let me go to the UFC. UFC got 11 big fights this week. The main fight that a lot of people want to see is Tyron Woodley versus Gilbert Burns. UFC should be fun again this Saturday, May 30th. And, gamblers going to be able to get some money if you're on the right side. If not, you're going to lose some money. But the UFC's off and running. Dana White, salute to what you're doing and continue the success, man. And last but not least, I'm going to take the last 4 or 5 minutes here on this subject here. The Dallas Cowboys, 8-18 last year, choking, losing the division to the Philadelphia Eagles. And y'all, especially the Cowboy fans, we all know how that ended up. We just didn't show up in Philly. We laid an egg. Dak Prescott laid an egg. Amari Cooper, refused to get back in the game. But as far as this year, I got high hopes for my team. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, a lot of people are not big on McCarthy. I like McCarthy for a short window. I think McCarthy's one of those guys that he comes in and he does good for like 2-3 years, and you just got to get rid of him. Win or lose, you got to get rid of him because he doesn't get better as the years progresses. It's a lot of coaches like that. Chucky was one of them. You know, when he had that run with Oakland, then went with Tampa. Just some coaches are just good for the first 2-3 years. Some are opposites. Some take 2-3 years to get it running. So if I'm Jerry Jones, I'll keep that in mind. McCarthy starts off usually good like he did in Green Bay. You know what I mean? Maybe a year or two before he really started getting that engine running. He's got all the pieces in Dallas from a real good running back, decent quarterback, real good wide receivers, good defensive players. On defense, you know, we still got Crawford on the line, DeMarcus Lawrence on the line, and Aldon Smith that we just picked up, got reinstated to the NFL. We don't know what we getting out of Aldon Smith, but I guarantee you, if we get 80% of whatever he was, he is going to be a beast on that Dallas defense. That's no doubt about that. And we also picked up Gerald McCoy from Tampa Bay, who's also a monster. So our defense is looking real good. Linebacker Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, Vander Esch, you know what I mean, cornerback Trayvon Diggs, you know, Chinovia Woozy, and Xavier Woods. Cowboys right now look as good as we ever looked. All we need is somebody to surface that engine. And I think, believe it or not, Mark McCarthy is the guy right now. I think McCarthy's the guy right now. Now, if there's a better coach out there, yeah, there is. But I love the situation. Green Bay basically, you know, booted him out. He's got a chance to refresh, redeem himself. I think he goes back into the hole, goes back to the old way of studying. He's got all the weapons he needs. Cowboys win this division, I think, mighty easily. My prediction on the Dallas Cowboy year would be like a 10-6, 11-5 type of year. Now, if the Eagles happen to roll up a 12-4, 13-3, then we're going to lose the division. But I don't see the Eagles really hitting it like that. I see Eagles at best 10 wins, 9 wins. I see Giants no better than 500. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a weak division. Washington with Haskins at best are going to win 6 to maybe 7 games. So I think this is Dallas's division to lose. Dallas should prevail in this division. And not for nothing, I got a feeling, you know, with all this Dak wanting all this money and all this stuff, I got a feeling this dude's going to turn it up. I mean, he lost his brother last year, lost his mom, I think, in 2013. He's got a lot to pray for, a lot to prove. The only problem I got with Dak Prescott is that he wants those 40 pieces now. If I'm Dak Prescott, I'll put it on the table. Listen, I'm going to get y'all to the playoffs. We're going to win a couple playoff games. Once I do that, you got to sign this dotted line for those 40 pieces. Now, if he took that route, I ain't got no issue with that. Absolutely no issue with that. But the fact that Dak Prescott is something like 1-2 in the playoffs, if I'm correct, 0-1, 1-2, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, and has done absolutely nothing in the playoffs, is where I get confused where he won 40 pieces. I understand regular season he got body of work. But like I broke it down on many occasions, that's a body of work where it goes back to where I tell y'all, when guys be saying men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, I'm totally against that saying. Because if you watch Dak Prescott, a lot of those numbers were garbage time numbers where they were getting blown out, and he has a huge fourth quarter. Now, I know at the end of the day, the numbers stick. I know that the numbers are legit. I get all that. But from aficionados like myself, you ain't getting over on me, dog. Like, I see right through that. You piled up numbers on some prevent defense shit. Because a lot of times we were in games where we were out of games late, and you made somewhat of a surge late and got all these underground yardage and stuff. That very few games you came out the boot where you came out, you know, gunning. You came out gunning. No, it's usually games where we kind of out of it in the fourth period or fourth quarter, and teams fall back, and you get all that garbage yard shit. And I'm telling you, you ain't fooling me. You can fool everybody else. You ain't fooling me, and hopefully you ain't fooling Jerry Jones. And with that, 15 quickest minutes of sports. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, every Friday, open sessions. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You never know what you're going to get, so I advise you, y'all better tune in. Tune in on Facebook Live on that. But like I said, y'all, like, you know what I'm saying? Share, hit the notification bell, subscribe. And with that, y'all hold your heads. Al York Sports, I love y'all. Cowboys will win the division, the Eastern Conference in the NFC. Hold your heads. Love y'all. Love, baby. Al York Sports.